What's up guys, welcome back to Nuts and Bolts Auto, and today I'm going to be changing this heater core bypass valve on my Ranger, and I'm also going to be changing the radiator cap and the thermostat. So what happened with this truck was that the other day I was driving and all of a sudden it started overheating, and I pulled over and came over and checked the coolant level, which of course was full, as you can see right there. When I came to check the hose, it felt empty, just full of air. I came over here, put a rag over the cap and opened it. Basically the radiator was empty, so I filled it up with coolant, and then the temperature dropped on the truck, and that was basically the whole problem. This was the original problem that was leaking. You can see right here there's a little bit of water right there coming out, but this cap is supposed to allow your radiator to suck in coolant from the reservoir when it needs some, and when it's full and it expands, it should allow it back into the reservoir. That's basically the cap's job, and it didn't do that because my coolant reservoir was full all the time. It goes to show simple things could get really nasty if they're not taken care of. To get started, right here, to take off the valve, you just have to remove these 4 hose clamps, and then the valve should come off, and you remove this vacuum line right here. For the cap, well, it's just as simple as taking it off and putting on the new one. And for the thermostat, there's 2 10mm bolts, one on each side, and that'll let go of the thermostat housing, and you can pull all this out and change the thermostat and put everything back together. So to get started, I'm just going to remove this vacuum line and then start removing the hoses. Right here is where the leak was happening, so whenever I would switch the setting from heat to cold, this would actuate, and then it operates the valve inside, allowing the coolant to go into the heater core or not to go into the heater core. Okay, so just put the hoses right back where they came from, but for this one right here, the hose clamp is going to get in the way from putting in the next one. You won't be able to tighten down the bottom one, so it'd be better to tighten this one first and then put the second one and tighten it. Once you got all 4 hose connections, just don't forget about the vacuum line that goes on top. So just as a precaution, just make sure that this hole right here is free and there's nothing plugging it. And then same thing on this line that goes to your reservoir, blow through it and make sure that it's free as well. So once you've made sure that the line is free and there's no obstructions, go ahead, put it back right in place and put in the new cap. So now we're just going to change the thermostat. It's on the upper radiator hose. There's the thermostat housing right there. And of course when you take this off, it's going to leak antifreeze all over. There's 2 10mm bolts down there. To give ourselves some more access, I'm going to remove this 8mm right here, this clip, this 8mm right here, and this 8mm right here. Just loosen it, loosen that one as well, and remove the hose. With all those loose, you should be able to pull off the air hose. Now we can remove the radiator hose. Make sure to have something under the cap to catch all the antifreeze. One other thing before you continue is to make sure that you set down rags over the belt and pulleys, because that's antifreeze and it's basically an oil, and if that gets onto your belts or pulleys, you're probably going to end up with a really bad squeak. That's how you turn a 15-minute job into a few hours. I drilled out the center of the bolt. From then on, just kept running bigger and bigger bits until I matched the size of the hole. Then I came over here with my tap and painstakingly rotated this half a turn and half a turn for hours until the new thread was done. I also had to remove a bunch of stuff off camera because this was really a priority as soon as that bolt broke and I needed to get this done. So I removed this fuel line right here just with the fuel line remover. I also removed the heater core hose. This goes off to the heater core. It's right here. I removed it from there. I took off the clip for the throttle positioning sensor, and then this wire right here for the coolant temperature sensor, and the vacuum line for the fuel pressure regulator. I also made sure to cover the thermostat hole because I was drilling into this and there's all kinds of metal shavings, as you can see, and you don't want that falling into your coolant passages or anywhere else for that matter. As for the thermostat housing right here, it's in pretty good shape still. The thermostat itself was a fail-safe. Because the truck overheated, you can see that it locked itself in open position, which is why I'm also going to change it out because it already failed. It's not allowing the truck to reach operating temperature right now. And you can see that the bolt actually broke right here because the gasket is pretty much sealed all the way around, except right here the water was running through it and is broken right here, and it was basically just leaking out into the bolt the whole time. Now with this new thread, I think it's an M8 1.25 thread. So you just remove the old gasket from here and then get the thermostat out. With the old thermostat out, you want to make sure that you can get the mating surface real nice and clean. And if you're using something sharp like I am right now, make sure that it's not digging into it at an angle or anything. Just nice and flat and flush with the surface and the inside as well. With everything clean, just put the thermostat in so it sits flush. It should sit flush all the way across, and then the gasket just goes on top like that, and then just flip it over and install it. Okay, so with the bolts on and the housing back on, torque down the bolts to about 14 to 20 foot-pounds, so I'm just going to do 18, and then you just tighten it until it clicks right there. So after putting the bolt in there and trying to torque it, it wouldn't hold the torque because I guess the thread got messed up when I was extracting the original bolt from there. So what I did instead was do the threads in deeper, and then I installed a stud, and it wasn't long enough to reach all the way up, so I basically cut one stud and then put another stud and welded them together. So the whole thing basically looked like this, except this one, the size didn't fit. It wasn't long enough. So I made another one that was a little bit longer, and then right here where you can see the weld, I went over it with the die and then redid the thread from here to the bottom. With the stud on there, now I was able to torque down that nut on there, and so it's all good to go. Now the only thing left is to reassemble everything that was taken apart. So as you can see, the radiator is empty, so let's go ahead and fill it up with coolant. Once you can see that the coolant is up to the top, you want to turn on the truck and let the coolant cycle, and this level is going to go down, and then you can keep adding it. As it's running, you can come over here to the hose and give it a few little squeezes to get the air out. That'll be burping the system. After that, you can take it out for a drive until the car reaches operating temperature, and then when you stop, just let the engine cool so you can open this cap and then refill it again. One other thing that I almost forgot to mention was to turn on the heater on the truck. That way the bypass valve opens and allows the coolant to go through your heater core, and it burps that out as well. You'll be able to tell when the thermostat has opened because this upper radiator hose will start getting hot. And then on your temperature gauge, you'll see that the temperature goes up and then all of a sudden it takes a turn and starts going down again, that means that your thermostat has opened. Once that's done, just make sure that there's no leaks. Double check around all the hoses, everything that was taken apart. And finally, just double check the coolant level inside your reservoir. So there you go, guys. This is finally done. I hope you guys liked the video, and remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those other goodies. Thank you.